Hey guys, Jolster here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So this time I'm going to show you some of my settings that I'm using with this new update on the Samsung Q7FN. So right here what you're saying is the Samsung Q7FN Quantum.TV from 2018. And I know some of you guys have been requesting me to check out the new update, if there's any changes, any settings. So I'm going to share with you what I'm using right now with this TV. And I'm going to share the settings for when you're watching movies in 4K with HDR, what kind of movie settings that I use, and also with gaming on the Xbox One X. I'm going to be showing you my settings when playing games in HDR and SDR as well. So if you're into this kind of videos, welcome to the channel guys. I'm Jolster and let's do this. Alright guys, so let's jump into the movie settings because I know a lot of you guys will want to see this, how the black bars look on this TV, and take a look at this. They look beautiful. So this is the new John Wick Parabellum, which is an awesome movie, one of my favorites from John Wick series. So let's jump into the settings right now. Hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble, this little short clip I show you guys. So let's get into the settings. So as you guys can see, I'm using movie mode and this is in HDR. Let's get into the picture mode settings. Oh, actually before I do that guys, make sure you go into general and then you go to external device manager and then you turn on your UHD HDMI colors. So this is for you can get HDR. Alright, so you can turn it on all of your HDMI inputs. In my case, that's what I do because I keep changing the inputs all the time. So this is highly recommended if you want to get HDR. Also, when you go over here, if you want to get this black menu instead of the white menus, let's go to, I think it's right here. No, I'm sorry. It's actually right here. And then you go to high contrast. So go to accessibility and high contrast. And this is how you're going to get, this is how normally the TV comes out with. But if you don't want that, honestly, I don't like that. I'll change it to high contrast and then you get the black and gray menus. All right, so hopefully that's helpful to you guys. Let's go into the picture now. And remember, these are my own personal settings. If you want, you can try them. But as always, use the one that works best for me. Okay, so I have here the backlight all the way up to 50. And the reason being is because this is in HDR. And I want to get the most brightness and also the best black levels as well, right? So I'm going to use the backlight all the way up to 50. Brightness since 0, don't play around with that one. It's all good in 0 or in the middle. Contrast, I have it all the way up to 50. The most contrast you have, the brighter picture you're also going to get. Sharpness, I leave it in level 10. I notice on some TVs everything is different, but in my TV, if I remove sharpness, the whole picture becomes very soft, so that's why I leave it at 10 or in the middle. Color is balanced at 25, so that's good. Then we're gonna go down here. So over here in Auto Motion Plus settings, I have it in Auto. This is how I like it. It adds some soap opera effect, but some people like it, some people don't. You can always adjust that soap opera effect right here, or you can just turn it off. I do like the way this works for me, but it's all optional. I have it in automatic. So over here, local dimming is on high. Even though this is an HD TV, local dimming doesn't make much of a difference. But, I try to get the best out of it. You notice how, actually, you know what? In here does make a difference. You guys notice that? So, you turn it in low, there's going to be a little bit more blooming. But when it's on high, it's actually, actually it looks better in standard. Right now that I'm playing around with it, you guys see, I think it looks better in standard. So we're just going to leave it in standard right now. All right. Contrast enhancer. This is another way to get more brightness out of a picture. So if you put it on bright all the way up high, it gets too bright for my taste. You start losing some details. And so I have it in low. I feel like low is a sweet spot for this update right now on this TV. so I keep it in low. All right, so let's continue with this, guys. Color tone, I have it in warm 1. This is the sweet spot for me. In standard, it looks good, okay, cool. It's too cool for school. I don't know. It's just like my taste. Warm 1 is the sweet spot. Has been for a while. If you guys been following my channel. White balance, I don't play around with white balance. There's a 2-point and a 20-point. I mean, this is probably if you want to professionally calibrate your TV. Otherwise, I don't play around with it. Gamma ST2084. Same thing. I leave it at 0. Well balanced. RGB mode is off. Color space settings. So over here in color space settings, I always make sure that this is the DCI-P3, the color gamut. All right. If you want to change that, you can go to custom, right? And then you can change this one to BT2020. I wouldn't recommend doing that because DCI-P3 looks way better. I don't know if you guys can see it, but when I change to BT2020, I notice I lose some colors, vibrancy, some contrast as well. So DCI-P3 looks way better as for this moment. And then I'm over here, you can customize it or just leave it in automatic, and that's it. All right. And that's it for the settings. This is what I use when I'm playing, watching movies in 4K with HDR. So basically, this is in 4K HDR Quantum.TV, and this is most likely what you're going to use it for, right? 4K movies, HDR. That's the point. So let's change into game mode, because there's also, this TV is also great for gaming. So let's get into game mode. I have my Xbox One X here. Let's jump right here, and there you go. So right now I am playing this game, which is Far Cry 5. This is a classic game. Well, not classic. It's been a while since I played this game, but I like it. It's beautiful. It has some really good HDR, in my opinion. You can play it. There's a lot of games out there, and this is one of my favorite, which I haven't even beat. So let's jump into the settings real quick, guys, because HDR gaming is different than SDR. So I'm going to show you. Oh my God, you know what? Let's get into this house, because over here everyone is so aggressive. So I don't want to get into so much trouble. All right, so let's jump into the settings. So first off, if you want to see what you're having right here, what kind of settings you're playing, you can go to source and then go up, click on the Xbox One little icon. You see 3840, 2160, FreeSync, and HDR. That's what I'm using right now. All right, just in case some of you guys want to know how to do that, get that information. Then let's go jump into the settings, and then let's go into the expert settings. I'm using game mode. All right. Also, let's go over here real quick. If you want to play with game mode, make sure you go into the external device manager, right? In game mode settings, and this is where you turn it on. This right now is automatic. I recommend using automatic, so that way when you change to a movie, it'll switch from game mode to movie mode and vice versa. Okay, you can turn it off if you want to, but I highly recommend to use in automatic. Also, to turn on Game Motion Plus, you have to turn off FreeSync first, and then you're able to use Game Motion Plus. So Game Motion Plus is in order for you to get like games that are locked at 30 frames per second. It'll look, depending on the settings that you're using, you can have them work at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. It's just like a, motion interpolation with game mode. It's a mixture. It's not really native. It'll add some input lag, so I don't recommend to use it in a fast-paced game. But if you're playing a single-player game, this is all good. So let's jump into the settings real quick, guys. I know you guys want to see that. So let's get into the expert settings. And this is what I'm using right now. So the backlight is at 45. I think it's really bright right now. What Samsung is doing with all these new updates is just like, I feel like they increased the brightness. But from the 1260 update to this one, I feel like they left it the same way. So I have it at 45. The brightness is at 0. Contrast at 45. Remember, if you increase the contrast, it's also going to be brighter. But if you get brighter picture, you also might introduce blooming into some dark areas. So this is the way I use it. Sharpness is at 10. Same thing. I don't want to get a soft image. Color 25. Local dimming is on high. Contrast enhancer, I have it in low. I like it like that. Warm 1. And color space is in automatic. And that's it. This is what I'm playing, or this is what I'm using when I'm playing HDR games. And I like it, guys. I mean, it looks beautiful. Colors look well balanced. The gameplay feels very solid with freezing as well. Although this game, I think this game is locked at 30 frames per second, so freezing doesn't make much of a difference. Freezing works better in a 60 frames per second game. So like I said, guys, freezing works better with fast-paced games. In this case, I'm playing Call of Duty. This is one of the games that takes advantage of freezing, of course. Ooh, Jesus. Oh well. Trying to kill someone and I get stabbed from behind. But yeah, this is another game that uses HDR, and I feel like this is one of the best examples to, you know, use freezing and HDR and everything. So I like it. Has really low input lag. This TV has around 15 milliseconds of input lag, so that's crazy that you're able to use this. Alright, so let me just get into this little corner right here. Let me show you the Xbox One X settings that I'm using while playing this game. Let's see if I can do this real quick. So let's go into the Xbox settings. I know some of you guys are watching this channel for the first time. I've done this many times before, but I just wanted to show you real quick. So I'm using the 4K resolution. Of course, you can also choose 1440p if you want to, but if you do that, then you're going to lose HDR. So why should you do that, right? Over here, refresh rate, you can use the 120 Hz or 60 Hz. This game is locked. Most of these games are locked at 60 Hz. So it's kind of pointless if you want to use the 1440p resolution. The only advantage you get from the 1440p resolution is that you get a lower input lag, like around 9 milliseconds. Other than that, I wouldn't really mess around with that. Not at this point. I think the best way to use that resolution and performance is when you connect a PC to your TV. So over here we have all the check marks except for the 3D and the Dolby Vision. Other than that, everything is working right here. And then 4K TV details, same thing. This TV doesn't support Dolby Vision, but you get the rest working properly. So let's jump back into the game. Game mode is automatic. Oh, nobody killed me. Am I lucky or what? Alright guys, so let's jump into the settings for SDR gaming, right? Because SDR is going to be changing a little bit. Let me see if I can kill someone else. Yeah, I got another kill. I feel better now. Oh shit. Oh, nice. Let me just finish up this game and jump into the SDR settings, guys. Oh no. Alright guys, so in this time I jump into the World of Rage. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this game, but it's actually pretty good. It's a lot of fun. Weird stuff going on here, but it's really cool though. I like it. So let's jump into the settings real quick, guys, because this game is very colorful, so it has to look good even though it doesn't support HDR. So let me show you real quick. This game is running at 3840 2160 freezing with no HDR. Alright. So in this case, let's jump into the settings. See, I'm using game mode as well to get the lowest input lag. Expert settings, and right now I have the backlight all the way up to 30. So in this case, when I'm playing with SDR, I don't need to have the backlight all the way up to 50. You can do that, but trust me, it's gonna get too bright and then you start losing some black details. So I have it at 30. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it at 35. I feel 35 is still good. Alright, so that's my backlight. Brightness is in the middle. Contrast all the way up to 50. Sharpness 10. Colors, I did increase the colors a little bit. I wanted to have more vibrancy, more punchy colors, so I increased it just a little tiny bit. Over here, local dimming, I have it on high. Let me see if this local dimming changes as well. You know what, local dimming, I don't see any changes here, so I'm just gonna leave it in high. That's how I have it. Contrast enhancer, now this one, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it does make a difference. So contrast enhancer, I do recommend it to have it on high when you're playing SDR games. I don't know, to me it looks way much better than to turn it off or have it in low. Alright, so over here, color tone, same thing, warm 1, white balance, I don't touch white balance. BT1886, this is the gamma. So why do I have it in minus? Oh, okay. So when I have it in -1, I get better like contrast. It looks like there's more details in the black levels. So that's why I have it in -1. And then over here, color space, I have it on native. So it's always recommended to use native when you're playing non-HDR games or SDR format. If you use it in auto, let me see. Yeah, I notice a difference in the colors, especially when you're playing in colors. You notice that red on the left, even on the fire, like it's, when you're using in auto, it looks kind of like washed out, the colors. You get way better colors when you use in native. And this is only in SDR gaming. Alright guys, so that's what I use. Let's go back over here, and that's it. So these are my settings right now, guys, that I'm using this kind of, you know, gameplay, HDR or SDR. It's all up to you. These are my own personal settings, and like I always said, try the ones that work best for you. This might be too different for what you like, but it's always cool to, you know, share your thoughts, your settings. Let me know in the comments below, what TV do you have? This is a Q7FN, but this might work on other models too as well. So just try them, let me know what you think, and that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's gonna be more videos coming up. I got some like a monitor that I'm going to review, comparisons. Hopefully I get the Hisense H9F and the new TCL when it comes out, but let's see what happens. I'm Joester, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Joester out. This looks cool.